Good morning folks, 21st Century Caveman here. Hope everybody's well, hope everybody's happy. So today we're unboxing my new toy. This is a recent Amazon purchase from one of my wish lists. It's basically become available in a sale, which is well below half price, assuming of course it's ever been sold at the full price. Now these blades, which I've just illustrated, don't come with it, they were purchased separately. There we go, look, no need to buy any toilet paper for a while. Okay, so this is starting to look interesting, isn't it? And when I actually made the purchase, there were a number of questions on Amazon about this, querying whether or not it actually came with this hard plastic case. Some said it did, some said it didn't, and only came with a cardboard box. So I was absolutely delighted to see that it was contained within this really nice case. So at this point then it should be clear that we're looking at a power tool. Obviously you've got the manual and there's a guarantee, but we're not going to spend too much time on this. And that's the boring bit, isn't it? And we're looking at the RPRS01A Reciprocating saw from TACKLIFE. Now, there goes Daisy by the way. I must say that this case I was very impressed with. It does appear to be very tough indeed. Now the reciprocating saw comes along with a couple of blades, one for wood, which is this black one here, and another one for metal. As you can see, it's got much finer teeth. Now there are a vast array of blades which can be purchased for reciprocating saws, depending on what tasks you want to perform with it. And I will come back to this case on a couple of occasions throughout the video, and I must say that I was really impressed with this. It does really appear to be a very strong, durable case, and possibly the only weak point, if indeed it is a weak point, and only time will tell, will be these latches, look, which you use to lock it. So 850 watts, which is, you know, quite powerful, isn't it? And it will be more than adequate, more than powerful for most people's needs. Certainly for mine as a DIYer, doing my DIY stuff, and also out in the garden cutting up shrubs, trees, that sort of thing. Now this red mechanism at the top here is a really nifty feature, which, as you can see, allows you to turn or to twist the stock 90 degrees left or right. So obviously that's going to be really useful, isn't it, depending on the position you find yourself in when you're cutting down whatever. There's also a nice long cable with this, which is always a good thing, but we'll measure that up in a bit. Now this is a reasonable weight, you know, it's not too light, not too heavy, and this does inspire confidence, which hopefully won't be misplaced. So on the handle we can see, on the left hand side there, we can see the trigger switch, and the circular thing is a variable speed dial, and that was the button which allows us to lock or unlock the stock in order that we can rotate it. Now coming up, you'll see a small button on the left hand side of the handle, and that basically, if you push that down whilst you're using the drill, it just means that you don't have to keep your finger depressed on the trigger switch. So we can see that we have the chuck on the right hand side where you put the blade, and this is the shoe. which you push up against. It's adjustable, by the way. You can adjust the angle, so you push this up against whatever you're cutting in order to make sure that the thing is nice and stable and safe. Now, we've already mentioned the cable, which we're going to measure in a bit, but let's take some measurements of the saw first, shall we? So overall length then is approximately 19 inches, which is about 480 millimeters. The height at the tallest point is 6 inches or 150 mil, and the width is 3.5 inches or 85 millimeters. So let's just have a quick look at the blades that come with the saw then. So the white one is for metal and the black one is for timber. The measurements there are self-explanatory. And now we're just going to take a look at the saw blades which I purchased, which do not come with the saw. I did, however, still buy these from Amazon. Now you will notice that these are much longer, and they're for pruning, branches, that sort of thing, and also for rough cutting timber. Now you do get 5 blades per pack, which is absolutely amazing value. So these blades have a 1/2 inch fixing at the end, which is pretty standard so far as I can make out. Now I must make it clear that these aren't recommendations at all. I'm just showing you what I've purchased on the strength of numerous reviews on Amazon. Clearly I haven't used these yet. Based on the reviews, I'm quite confident that they're going to be fit for purpose and represent good value for money. But like I say, these aren't recommendations. This is just really a heads up as to the new toy which I've purchased, and obviously I'll be reviewing these quite shortly once I have an opportunity to use the saw and the blades with it. So basically you'll see some knurling on the chuck. You just basically twist it around, push in the blade and it snaps shut. Just need to tug it once or twice to make sure before you use it that it is definitely secure. And as I say, the end of the blade which fits into the chuck, it's 1/2 inch, and so far as I could determine, this is a pretty standard size for a reciprocating blade. But you just need to double check that the blade which you intend to purchase will actually fit with the reciprocating saw. So let's just check out these longer Bosch blades then. So these are going to be suitable for pruning. They should be fantastic in the garden, and also for cutting longer and thicker pieces of timber. So they're a decent size look and offer much more utility than the smaller blades which come with the saw. So let's just take a close-up look at the chuck then. As you can see, the knurling there, just twist it around, push in the blade, and boom, you're sorted. And you will see there is an orange lever just behind my hand, which enables you to adjust the shoe, the position of the shoe. You'll also note that just above the chuck there are some LED lights to illuminate your work. So that should be very handy, and these appear to be a pretty standard feature now on most power tools. So the cable then is about 118 inches long, which is about 3 meters. So, it's a decent length cable there. Let's measure up the box then. So what have we got? Length is 19.5 inches or thereabouts, about 500 millimeters. The height is, what have we got there? Yeah, 8 3/4 inches or approximately 225 millimeters. And the depth of the case is, wait for it. Yeah, there we go, look, about 4 1/4 inches or 110 millimeters. So I've already mentioned the manual and the guarantee. There's not a lot to say about this really, it's all pretty straightforward. And I would again like to say how impressed I was with this case, the build quality of it. But like I say, if anything, I'm assuming, rightly or wrongly, that the weak points may well be the latches which actually lock it. But I'm, you know, as I say, I mean, I haven't tested it, so that may or may not be the case. Excuse me. Now, you will notice that there are 5 slots on the top left hand corner here, 4 blades, but you know, they're not the easiest to use. It's not that easy at all to actually insert the blades in there, and the way the slots are actually shaped means that the best way to try and fit the blades in there is if the teeth are facing upwards. Now, there is a problem with that, and you'll see that shortly. If you actually insert them into these slots like this, then it means that the exposed teeth may well dig into the cable, which obviously isn't a good thing, is it? So I think that that certainly wouldn't be the best way to store your blades, but I'm sure with a little bit of ingenuity that can be easily overcome. All in all though, I'm really looking forward to using this, and obviously, you know, there will be some vids and a proper review with you very shortly. Thanks very much indeed for watching.